Hey guys, welcome to this kitchen renovation video. Today we'll be transforming this dated kitchen into more of a modern look. Now a few notes about this kitchen: there's pinkish orange walls, there's an old security system that needs to be removed, there's a fake brick wall alongside the stairwell, as well as a fake brick wall as a backsplash around the kitchen cabinets. The ceiling needs paint, there's a coat rack that needs to be finished, the walls need to be painted, as well as the trim and doors. Now jumping right into this project, the first thing that got accomplished was removing the old security system. And that's something the previous owner had, as this got replaced with something much simpler and smaller. Now, the existing trim has cracks as well as large gaps, but instead of replacing this, I'll show you how I tackled this issue later on. And you can see the arrow pointing to the large crack in the trim that I'm talking about. Now, I decided to paint the trim first, as if I got extra paint on the walls, it wouldn't matter as much, as I'm going to paint the walls anyways. Now, the patch where the security system doesn't look so good in this angle, as I didn't have any drywall tape at the moment. But the tape got put on later on, and now it looks good. Now the trim color is an off-white almond yellow. And to me, this color looks like it's faded, like a white that is not truly white. But moving on to the next task to brighten up this kitchen was adding a coat of paint to the brick walls. And I'll put this in a time lapse, as watching paint isn't the most entertaining. And this brick absorbed a ton of the paint. So if you're painting brick, you're going to want more paint than if you had the same size area with drywall. Now next up is the brick under the cabinets, and this was a little interesting to get to, but I ended up pulling out the oven to make it a little easier to paint. Next, the ceiling got a fresh coat of paint. As you can see that there were some water stains on the ceiling. And those stains were from a leaking chimney. But the chimney got refinished earlier this year, so it's all taken care of. Plus, I'm not sure how long ago the ceiling was painted last, so it's always good to give it another coat. Now once the ceiling was painted, it was time for the wall. And I ended up pulling the coat rack board down, and I pulled the hand railing going down the stairway off as well, as it made it easier to remove it than to paint around it. And here's the wall paint going up on the walls, and this paint is called the Bellflower Blue. And these walls ended up getting 2 coats total, as the orange-pink color was coming through the paint on the first coat. Now the walls are all finished, and it was a little dark to see as they got finished up later in the night. But I'll show you the walls at the end and how they look. And now I'm painting the back sides of the doors. And both of these doors got 2 coats of paint. And I didn't show the second coat of paint because painting white on white doesn't look too exciting on video, and it's kind of hard to tell. But next I worked on the coat board, and this was something that the previous homeowner made himself, but I decided to keep it and put a little paint on it. And I matched the same color as the trim and the doors. Next up is the door trim, and this trim was poorly installed and I could take it off and replace it, but instead of doing that, I ended up caulking up these large gaps. And I even tried filling the crack on the bottom with caulk as well. Now, my plan when caulking this was I was hoping that once it dries I could sand it down, but that was not the case, so I had to end up peeling it off and using wood filler instead. But with that being said, here's a walkthrough of the kitchen completed, and a lot of paint was done. The walls, the ceiling, the trim, the doors, coat rack, the downstairs staircase, the old security system was removed, and the brick wall and backsplash behind the cabinets were painted. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later, guys.